right, so the Sarasota police shows up to the 3400 block of 17th Street in Sarasota, Florida. And what they found was pretty tragic. And it definitely affects the Auburn family in a huge way. My name is Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. We're talking Auburn football. Down in the deep south, college football is king. And on the plains of Auburn, the battle cry is War Eagle. My stage name is Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Please feel free to leave a comment and get active in the comment section. Also, if you want to become a member of my channel, which we are revamping again, like the video and comment, subscribe. Offer your prayers up to the subject matter of today. We got a situation where Auburn running back Brian Battie just visiting home, and I get it. You got to go back home. As a matter of fact, I went back to my hometown, Tuskegee, a couple of weeks ago, and it's always, I don't know, it's like a circumference type feel when you go back home and you go back and see the people you grew up with, people that helped raise you. You see members of your church. You see folks that, you might have babysat or something before. It's just, home just gives you a piece of your heart when you go back. And, we think about these kids from across the country. They commit to Auburn from all areas of the country. Los Angeles, maybe not Los Angeles here recently, but they come here from Texas. They trust coming here from Virginia. They trust coming here. A lot of them really trust coming from Mississippi. We get a lot of guys from there. And then you also have the in-state guys that still want to go back to your Greenvilles and your Opelikas, even though Opelika is right up the road, your Birminghams, your northwestern portion of the state. And, you should be able to go back home without there being any issues, without there being any trouble. Now, I'm going to give you a little background on Brian Battie. I'm really impressed with the kid. He was actually an All-American at USF, University of South Florida, which is pretty close to his hometown. He specialized in kick returns. Very good at that. He also found his way to get himself out there, despite the fact that South Florida just wasn't particularly a good football team overall. But he was that guy that was a diamond in the rough. So much so Auburn looked out for him to add some depth, to add some speed, and maybe a different level of skill set into their running back room and the special teams. This season coming up, Auburn, the 2024 season, has got some important games coming up. And, you look at adding Oklahoma to the schedule, the emergence of Missouri. Georgia's going to be a really good football team, and that stretch is going to be very cumbersome for the Auburn Tigers. And you want to have guys that are good-spirited, good team players. I think Brian Battie could have possibly, or could still, I don't know the extent, be a part of that program. But he did hit the transfer portal earlier. Looked like a pretty full running back room with Sean Jackson and Jeremiah Cobb, Jarquez Hunter, Damari Alston, and he probably didn't quite figure out what his place was going to be in that puzzle, but he did decide to come back. And these types of stories are always ultimately tragic, because you think about a football player that's got his whole life ahead of him. I remember just yesterday, even though yesterday was 20-something years ago, in that same shoe, to where I'm 21 years old, I'm 22, might even be 25, and I just think I got time, And even now, at the age I am now, it's still, a little bit more morbid, because you start to think about certain things when you get into your mid-40s. You start to see people that you have come up with going through some tragic situations, losing parents and things like that. Life starts to really come at you in a weird kind of way. that you probably didn't think of. Because my mother always says, you know, just keep living. You're going to see it. Just keep living. And that's the time that we're in today. And this tragic moment for Brian Battie, as he and his brother, Tommy, they found themselves victims of a serious crime. As a matter of fact, his brother passed away. And it's alleged that Brian Battie, current Auburn running back, sustained some serious injuries and is in critical condition in Sarasota, Florida. So I just want you guys to take this time out, whatever your power may be, to say a special prayer of deliverance for his family, for him, that he can fight through this injury, hoping that injury at all is all it is. But Brian Battie's definitely a huge part of the Auburn family. And, you know, the Auburn family is fearless and true. And, you know, a spirit that's never afraid. I want you guys to like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. My name is Kennard Vernon Stewart. And as always, 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 it's great to be an Auburn Tiger.